It's a very serious podcast topic today. I believe that we need tax amnesty for crypto traders who haven't reported all their income to the IRS. That's the topic of my show today about my proposal. And I hope you take it seriously. I hope you listen all the way through to it. My name is Clinton Donnelly. This is the Clinton Donnelly Show, where I explore how taxation and regulation of cryptocurrencies affects your life every day as an investor. Let's recognize our sponsor. This show is sponsored by CryptoTaxAudit.com, the income tax experts for U.S. crypto investors. They offer a full suite of crypto tax reporting services for medium and large-size investors and businesses. They can calculate your crypto gains, prepare a complete tax return for crypto income, and defend you in an IRS audit. Are you frustrated with using online crypto tax services to calculate your capital gains? Are you a high-frequency trader? Use many NFTs, play to earn, DeFi, DGen? CryptoTaxAudit can do it all. No client is too complex for their in-house crypto accountants. Better still, they will defend your results in an audit by the IRS. No online crypto tax service offers that. Are you frustrated that your accountant doesn't understand crypto taxes? Our CPAs and enrolled agents do complex crypto tax returns for breakfast. They use a bulletproof crypto tax return methodology to prepare a tax return that doesn't attract IRS attention. CryptoTaxAudit also offers an exclusive, found nowhere else, audit defense membership service. It is like car insurance for your tax return. If any member's return gets selected by the IRS for an audit of crypto reporting, they will defend you at no additional charge for the entire life of the audit. You also get the confidence knowing that they can defend your results if the IRS starts asking questions. No crypto tax firm has defended as many crypto traders in IRS audits as CryptoTaxAudit. They have an amazing win rate. Why not work with the best? Go to CryptoTaxAudit.com to schedule a private tax consultation now. I'm your host, Clinton Donnelly. My Twitter handle is CryptoTaxFixer. I have a law degree specializing in international financial regulation, and I have clients in over 71 countries. The opinions expressed in the show are not legal advice. Taxes and regulations are complex and subtle, and experts can disagree. Your situation is unique, so always consult a professional. Now on with our show. Crypto investors in the U.S. are afraid of taxes, and for good reason. Most of them haven't paid their taxes on crypto income. This is a massive problem. In certain age brackets, dare I say it, tax noncompliance has reached epidemic proportions. First, we explore the clash between a Congress demanding more money and defenseless constituents. And then I'll make a tax amnesty proposal to heal this rift and increase tax compliance. Why is Congress demanding more money? The IRS is the money-making arm of the U.S. government. Currently, the IRS brings in about $5 trillion a year. The IRS Commissioner told Congress that if they were given additional funding, the IRS could bring in another $1 trillion. Since our government is going deeper into debt every day, Congress gave the IRS an additional $80 billion in funding. $46 billion of this amount is specifically earmarked by law to be applied to increase compliance enforcement related to digital asset activity. This is an enormous funding increase, and it makes digital asset enforcement the number one goal for the IRS for the next 7 years. What is this epidemic of non-compliance? The Gemini exchange did research that stated there were about 33 million crypto owners in the US. Only 8 million tax returns answered yes to the virtual currency question. So that's about 25 million crypto owners not answering yes, or answering no, or not answering at all. These 25 million either failed to report their crypto related income, let's call them hiders, or they failed to even file a tax return at all. Let's call those non-filers. And there's a lot of them. Both hiding and non-filing are forms of non-compliance that are subject to severe fines or criminal prosecution. What age groups are most at risk from this epidemic? According to the Gemini report, 70% of the crypto owners are ages 18 to 44. The Pew Research organization said that 42% of all crypto owners are between the ages of 19 and 29. So we're talking the youngest bracket, people who have otherwise lower incomes and maybe have had no investment experience, are the very ones that are most at risk. And of course, those in the 30s and 40s as well. The IRS crackdown will be most ferocious on these age groups. How did this happen? Well, the main reason for this epidemic of noncompliance is ignorance. Taxpayers are in the dark. Most taxpayers still think cryptos are taxed like IRAs. Oh, you're only taxed when you take the cash out. But the fact is that every time a crypto is traded for any other token, fiat, stablecoin, or whatever, a taxable event occurs. Also, CPAs and tax advisors are in the dark. Almost all CPAs and tax advisors want nothing to do with the complexities of tax reporting of crypto-related income. Many are afraid of professional liabilities. Another reason for this epidemic is that taxpayers are confused when using the online crypto tax calculation services. These services can't keep up with the explosion in new ways of investing in cryptocurrencies. What are the dangers of this epidemic? Well, whether out of ignorance or frustration, a taxpayer doesn't report his crypto income for 1 year. And then, out of fear of being discovered, he continues not to report his crypto income in the following years. After a few years, the unpaid tax bill is so enormous, the taxpayer has no hope of getting back to compliance. Getting back to compliance would destroy his life. It would fill a generation of taxpayers with enormous bitterness and anger against the government. This is not good for the stability of the democracy. Why is a cure needed now? The IRS is collecting U.S. crypto exchange data on taxpayers from the year 2016 onward. The IRS demanded this information under Tax Code Section 7604, and they're seeking information about U.S. clients and their transaction histories. In fact, recently, in February 2023, the IRS filed suit in court to compel the Kraken exchange to surrender its information under Section 7602, which is a criminal charge. Armed with this information, the IRS can see if your tax returns account for all the sell transactions that the IRS would then know about. If you've seen my podcast on the lack of accuracy of gain calculation services, you know, and you'll understand that the IRS will likely calculate a higher value of sell transactions than you do. How can the epidemic be healed? There is a solution. It's a shortcut for getting people back into compliance. It has been done several times before. The remedy is called tax amnesty. When I was a kid, we would go play hide and go seek. And when the game was over, those that were still hiding were told that it was still safe to come out. We would just shout, "Ollie, Ollie," and come free. Getting those still hiding to come in is the goal of tax amnesty. However, it isn't completely free. Are there existing tax amnesty programs that could be used? Well, the IRS currently has a tax amnesty, what they call a voluntary disclosure procedure. The current IRS voluntary disclosure program targets tax criminals and is very harsh medicine, though it is short of prison time. We need a special disclosure program targeting cryptocurrency compliance. This has been done before for people with offshore banking accounts. It's been done when new laws and new changes in the tax code have happened that have found people on the outside, like offshore banking, bank reporting. Cryptocurrency is exactly the same medicine we need. I think the streamlined foreign offshore voluntary disclosure program offered a successful template that can be adapted for crypto taxpayers. Using the streamlined foreign offshore procedure as a template, what would a streamlined digital asset procedure look like? I propose the following. The taxpayer files and amends the last 3 tax returns that are due to report the digital assets that might require amending a tax return or filing it for the first time if they hadn't filed it. The taxpayer is not responsible for fixing digital asset reporting on years prior to those 3 years. So that's a big benefit. The taxpayer attaches to each return a reasonable cause explanation for the late filing. Third, the taxpayer files FBAR forms, this is foreign bank account reports, for the last 6 years to report foreign financial accounts, in particular foreign crypto exchanges. The taxpayer pays the taxes owed plus interest, but does not have to pay a failure to pay or a failure to file or civil penalties related to informational returns. Digital asset reporting includes completing informational forms 8938, 5471, 3520, 8621, and others to report non-US based crypto exchanges, decentralized exchanges used, DAOs, and transactions with anonymous persons. Typically, a reasonable cause is not an acceptable excuse when the taxpayer was willful. Willfulness is a complex legal topic. As mentioned earlier, most crypto hiders and non-filers did not fail to report initially out of willfulness. Let me rephrase that again. Initially, they were not being willful when they didn't report their crypto income. However, as the years went on, the non-reporting became more willful out of fear and ignorance. This transition towards willfulness should not be held against the taxpayer for seeking now to become compliant. Also, taxpayers participating in voluntary disclosure should not be precluded from any other collection procedure normally available to taxpayers, such as installment agreements, currently non-collectible status, and offers in compromise. Voluntary disclosure works. Tax amnesty works. Tax amnesty brings in additional tax revenue at a very low IRS administrative expense. It brings hiders and non-filers into compliance and encourages future compliance. The risk of offering tax amnesty is that it diminishes the perceived fairness of the tax system because delinquent taxpayers get away with paying less than compliant taxpayers. Tax amnesty risks diminishing the seriousness of tax fraud and evasion. Why am I qualified to discuss tax amnesty procedures? My staff and I have filed over 1,200 tax amnesty returns with a 100% success rate of everyone enjoying the benefits of tax amnesty, and they are now compliant. Honestly, few tax firms have filed as many amnesty returns as I have. You could call me one of the kings of tax amnesty. I have filed over 600 returns reporting offshore bank accounts using IRS streamlined foreign procedures. Also, I have filed over 600 returns using the IRS delinquent international information return procedure. I think I'm uniquely qualified to speak to the importance of having an amnesty program. Most taxpayers want to be tax compliant, but when ignorance turns into willful hiding, we need to offer an olive branch to bring back home taxpayers who have found themselves in a regrettable place. What can you do today? If you agree that the IRS should offer cryptocurrency tax amnesty programs, let your senator or congressman know. Like and share this video with others and create a groundswell. The way to let your congressmen and senators know is to go to a website, usa.gov, and you'll see elected officials at the top, and they'll tell you who your elected officials are, and you can email them your concerns. And for those of you that are concerned that they might use this information against you, they won't. This is confidential information between you and your elected representative. The IRS would not know about your name, nor could they use it against you. That would be an abuse of your rights. If you have not reported large amounts of crypto income and you are concerned, schedule a private consultation with me at CryptoTaxAudit.com.